toward the end of the parade, the chariot stops in a particular place where all different Brahmins and others can come and offer bhog offerings to the Lord. At that time, Lord Chaitanya went into a garden to rest. And the devotees instructed Prataparudra Maharaj, Ramananda Rai Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. They explained, put on the robes of a common mendicant and go in to massage Lord Chaitanya's feet and recite Gopi Gita of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now this is a very, very great act of faith by the king, because the Lord rejected anything. In fact, one time during the Ratha Yatra, Lord Chaitanya fell down in the king's arms, and the king just happened to be there and caught him, and the Lord jumped out of his arms. How abominable! I have been contaminated by the touch of a materialistic person. The king was mortified. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, actually he's very happy, but just for strictness he's saying these things. So on this occasion, the king very humbly entered into the garden in the robe of a simple Vaishnava mendicant and began to massage the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, who was laying down on a raised platform in seclusion. All the other devotees from dancing all day were resting under various trees. He began to speak the Gopi Gita. Jayati te dikam janmana braja. The Lord was so happy. Go on reciting, go on reciting. And when he came to that verse, Tabakatam ritam tapta jivanam, where the gopis are describing how the Lord's glories are so purifying that they can deliver the whole world. And those persons who broadcast those glories within this world are so intimately dear to you. They are the most munificent welfare servants of all of society. So Lord Chaitanya, when he heard this, he cried out, "You are most munificent! You are most munificent!" The Lord got up and embraced King Prataparudra. Again and again and again he embraced him and embraced him and embraced him, bathing the king with the tears of the ecstasy of his love. All the king's desires were fulfilled. The Lord asked King Prataparudra, "You have come to give me such nectar. Who are you?" Hare Krishna. Now you can't lie before the Lord. The king gave the most perfect, honest answer to that question. He said, "I am simply the insignificant, menial servant of your servants. And my only aspiration in life is to be the servant of your servants." Now herein Srila Prabhupada explains this is actually the ultimate aspiration anyone could long for in life. To be the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. That was the benediction Kolavecha Sridhar asked for. That was the benediction Dhruva Maharaj asked for. Although they were offered anything in the material or spiritual worlds. Because the servant of the servant of the servant, that consciousness is the only consciousness that pleases Krishna. Krishna doesn't care anything for your position. He's concerned with the content of your heart. And whatever position, whether it's a big position of being a leader or whether it's just being a simple helper. Our consciousness should always be the menial, insignificant servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. It was because he actually had that bhava that he received such mercy of the Lord. The Lord revealed his opulences to King Prataparudraja and disclosed to the king that he should not speak to anyone what he had seen. And all the devotees were rejoicing in ecstasy that the king received such good fortune. Prabhupada explains this is what Vaishnava means. When you rejoice to see someone else getting the mercy of the Lord, that is Vaishnava quality. When you are envious of such person or thinking, why not me? That is materialistic consciousness. The more we are happy to see other people's good fortune, the more we are happy to see other people making spiritual progress, the more we see other people, the more we are happy to see other people recognized by the Lord in the world for their devotion, the more we please Krishna within our hearts. That is spiritual success. Krishna is pleased when he sees that we take pleasure in seeing others getting recognition, getting mercy, and making great success in their spiritual lives. The devotees celebrated Maharaj Prataparudraja has received such mercy. Haribo. It was time to begin the Ratha Yatra once again. All the thousands and thousands of people were pulling those many ropes, but Jagannath would not move. This was a problem. So the king brought wrestlers, big strong people. They all pulled, wouldn't move. Then the king brought the royal elephants and harnessed all the elephants. Many elephants harnessed to Jagannath's chariot. And the elephant trainers were sticking them with the goad. And the elephants were and pulling and squirming and struggling. And the chariots wouldn't move. This was really a concern. What to do? Lord Chaitanya smiled. He released all the elephants, sent all the wrestlers away, and put the ropes in the hands of his devotees. Then he went to the rear of the chariot and with his head pushed. And the chariot began to move forward. And the devotees, they weren't even pulling. The ropes were simply resting in their hands. Simply by the Lord's head, he was pushing. And Jagannath was smiling as they entered into the Vrindavan gardens of Gundicha. And there for many days, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced the ecstatic joy of being reunited with Krishna in Vrindavan Dham. So that is the significance of Ratha Yatra as demonstrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how Srila Prabhupada brought such a spiritually deep and wonderful pastime to the whole world and invited everyone to participate. That is his great mercy. And on this very holy day of Ratha Yatra for Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, we should bow our heads in gratitude to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and feel a great commitment to assist him in his wonderful mission by making this Ratha Yatra such a wonderful, attractive, beautiful ceremony that people from all directions will naturally become attracted by Krishna. Yes, today, Hundreds and thousands of people will hear the holy names sung by devotees who are dedicating their lives in the loving service of the Lord. Hundreds and thousands of people will see the beautiful forms of Balaram, Subhadra, and Jagannath performing their Leela of Ratha Yatra. Tens and thousands of people will receive the Mahaprasad of the Lord. Hundreds and thousands of people will associate with the devotees of the Lord. It is the festival of mercy, festival of causeless mercy. It is a festival which is the expression of Prabhupada's love for all living entities that is being enacted today. And we are all so fortunate that we can play some small part in participating in assisting Srila Prabhupada in flooding the world with his compassion and his love for Sri Radha Ras Bihari.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.